Lainey Wilson, welcome back to Biscuits and Jam.
I love it. I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute.
It's been since 2022 was the last time we talked.
And a lot has happened.
A lot.
3 years.
A lot.
Yes.
Has happened. I mean, it's kind of incredible when you look back. I mean, you've got an album called Whirlwind that came out last year. Mm-hmm. You've been on a Whirlwind tour.
Yes. How
do you stay grounded when you have so much going on?
Oh my goodness. I will tell you this. I feel like it's not something that I'm like trying to do, but I think the thing that has helped me keep one foot on the ground is just keeping my people close.
Yeah.
The ones that knew me before, the ones that know Lainey and not Lainey Wilson. You know, I go home to Baskin and everybody's trying to stop by and see me, but it's not because of everything that's going on. It's just because they want to stop by and see me, you know, and just making sure that I'm taking the time to do the things that make me feel like Lainey, the sister and friend and daughter and all of those things. If I'm not doing those things, then I don't have what I need to be an artist, Lainey Wilson. So that is something that I definitely try to make sure that I'm okay, I've got to take the time to spend with my family and my friends and all of that. So it's about carving out that time for sure. But I got a lot of people in my life that keep me humble.
Yeah. They'll call you out. They'll call you out.
Girl, you ain't that cool. You kind of cool, but.
Speaking of being an artist, we're in this space. We're in your home. So thank you for having us over.
I'm glad you're here.
It is so cool to be here in this cool basement.
Thank you.
Talk to me about this space. Is this a creative space for you? Is this a retreat? I mean, I know you're not home that often.
I'm not home that often, but for so long I've said, you know, when I get a place of my own, I want to walk in and kind of just be able to look around and see a bunch of different colors and feel inspired and creative. And I always say that this house is kind of like the inverted of me, because I feel like a farmhouse on the inside, but a hippie on the outside. And I feel like my house is a farmhouse, but a hippie on the inside, you know? So it's fun for me to be able to come home, and I write a lot of songs in this area. I get to look at these velvet paintings on the wall. And, you know, I see Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton over here. And I want to feel inspired. I've written songs staring at white walls, and I can do it. But for me, it's way more fun to be able to walk into a place and let my imagination run wild. Like my sister's house.
Yeah.
Every wall is white. Her countertops are white. She walks in here and feels like she's going to have a seizure. She's like, oh my gosh, but that's how different we are.
But it's inspiring for you to be in here. And you've written songs in this space?
Oh yeah, I've written songs. Most of the Whirlwind record was written either here at this house or on the road, because I'm rarely in Nashville. And so when I'm home, I want to be here. And I've worked really hard on this house, and I'm proud of it. And it's where I just feel really comfortable. And so my buddies will come over, and this has kind of become a home for them too. You know, we just enjoy ourselves, have a little drink at the bar, and try to take a swing at a song.
Well, I love that. That makes it all the more special being in here. Let's go back to Baskin for just a second. So you grew up in Baskin, Louisiana, which is pretty far north in Louisiana. It's not that far from the Mississippi line.
That's right.
And I don't know how often you're able to get back, but when you get home, what do you like to do first? What's kind of on your priority list when you actually get a chance to go back to Baskin?
Well, so it used to be going straight to Baskin first and seeing mom and daddy until my sister had kids. And now I'm not worried about them. I'm trying to go see the nephews.
Yeah, okay.
So I go straight to Monroe and see my little nephews. And then we all end up going to Baskin. And man, we just love being outside. My horse he turned 30 this year. So I think I just got my final ride on him. And so just try to go out there and check on the horses. And there's nothing like driving down my hometown road and the highway they just named after me in Baskin.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Same place that I got a ticket when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
I was like, nanner, nanner, boo, boo.
Yeah, a little payback.
That's right. But yeah, stop by my granny's house. My granny lives like a mile from my parents, and just go sit down with her for a little bit, kind of catch up, and just take it easy. Like do all the things that I grew up doing. Even this past weekend, I was there, and me and my sister were cleaning my granny's house and doing what we've always done. I don't know any other way.
And it felt good, I'm sure, to be just away from it all for a minute and just back to.
That's right. It just reminds you.
Your people, yeah.
It reminds you what's really important. And this is all very, very important, my job. But it's very important for me to not put all my self-worth in what I do. Mm-hmm. Like, I know who I am. The Lord knows who I am. And I try to I try to live by that, because if I listen to what the world thinks I am, then that's when I think you could go really wrong.
Yeah.
So I think it's always about just planting your feet where they are and knowing who you are, standing up for what you believe in, and keeping your people close. I mean, that's been my method to this madness, because it can be
a lot.
It can be a lot. It can be hard. Mm-hmm. And I can absolutely see where you could lose yourself along the way. And there's been times where I have been so busy. I mean, a couple years ago, I think we played 186 shows that year. Wow. And just even this past year, we've cut it back to like 60, which has given me a lot more of a personal life. And Loretta Lynn said it best a long time ago. She's like, if you ain't living, you ain't writing. So you got to live in order to write. You got to love and be loved and get hurt and do all the things, that everybody's doing.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about your horse real quick. You mentioned that he's 30 years old. His name's Tex, right?
Yeah.
What was your connection to him, and what is your connection now? I mean,
goodness.
Does it feel like a family member?
It does. Mm-hmm. We grew up together, to be honest. When my daddy brought him to the house, he was 2 years old. I was somewhere around 9. And I just remember, this horse had never been ridden. And my daddy knew that I could hold on. He was like, all right. He's like, climb up there. And so I remember the horse just bucking and acting crazy.
Really?
And
while you were on him?
While I was on him. I just remember vividly my mama being like, pull back. And I'm like, little weak Lainey trying to pull back and hold on. And mama told daddy, she said, get her off of him. And daddy said, no, hold on. And it's so weird, because I feel like I have went back to that moment in my life so many different times. I mean, I've been in Nashville 15 years now. And I think back to that little girl on Tex, and I think about the music business trying to throw me off at so many different times, and I just keep holding on. And so he's taught me a lot, because now he's one of the best horses that I will ever have. And he's just a good family horse now, but he needed to be broke in. And so I think, when I think about how long that I've been here in Nashville and putting my time in, that's kind of how it was trying to break Tex, putting in that time and crawling up on him and just holding on.
And you're holding on now.
I'm still holding on. I'm too scared to let go.
Lainey, this interview, this podcast, and this story in Southern Living is going to come out around Thanksgiving. And I wanted to just talk about that for a second. And that is such a busy time of year for you. It's right around CMAs, and there's so much happening. But when you go back and think about Thanksgiving at your house, just kind of paint a picture for me of what's on the table and what's happening, who's doing the cooking. What does that scene look like?
Oh my gosh. Look, Thanksgiving every year, I feel like even if there are 6 people coming over, my mama's cooking for an army. That's how it feels. I'm like, Lord, we're going to have leftovers for 3 years. But normally folks from my mama's side of the family and my daddy's side of the family, my mama has a much larger family. And so all of her siblings and most of their kids and then their kids now. And
so it's a big gathering.
It's a big gathering. Yeah. They like to have a good time too. So, and it's not every single Thanksgiving. It just kind of, depends. But I mean, normally there's turkey, there's stuff. And every now and then we'll just do a steak. And we don't even do the traditional Thanksgiving thing. And baked potatoes and chicken and dumplings and biscuits and gravy. And you're probably going to hear my belly growl in a minute. But but yeah, they can whip it up for sure. I didn't get that gene.
No, the cooking gene? Well, you've got a lot of other genes that you're working with. So, there's people that can take care of you.
I can mess up a Hot Pocket. I mean, it's really that bad. My fiancé, he definitely did. He likes me for a lot of other reasons, because if it was dependent on my cooking, he'd been gone by now. So I feel like I can read directions and do it, but I don't have that little Louisiana touch like the rest of my folks.
So your fiance, his name is Duck. His nickname is Duck. Can he cook?
He can cook.
He can. Well,
he can
okay.
Cook. He can really.
He'll be good to have around.
I know, he's the reason I'm getting fed. But yeah, he's a good cook. He's an Alabama boy, so he knows how to whip it up too. There's something about that Southern cooking.
Yeah, he went to Sanford.
He did,
which is actually next door to Southern Living.
Really?
Yes, in Birmingham. So our buildings connect with Sanford.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's funny.
I know. I love that we have that connection. And I also, I know that he was a champion duck caller.
World champion duck caller.
Duck caller.
That's what did it for me.
So did it? I mean, did that kind of, that had to be, something that, impressed you a little bit, I would think.
I won't lie to you. I was like, okay.
That's legit.
That's a flex. That's the real deal right there. I knew he enjoyed duck hunting. And then once I got to know him, even after he told me he was a world champion duck caller, he told me that that's not even why he got the nickname Duck. He said he was playing football at Sanford, and the coach there was like, you remind me of one of my favorite quarterbacks ever, and his name was Duck. And he had a really good season that year, and so the whole team started saying, it's Duck season, and just turns out he was a duck hunter too. So that's how we got Duck.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Well, he sure has backed up the nickname.
He has. He sure has. Our first date, I told him that people call me Goose. I was lying, but he fell for it. I think he was like, oh, I'm in love. Yeah. He's a good one.
Lainey, I want to ask you about your bar and restaurant, Bell Bottoms Up. And you've got some things on the menu that kind of bring in your Louisiana side and your background. One of them is boudin balls. So is that something that would have been around a lot when you were growing up, or would that have been on the Thanksgiving table?
There were definitely years where we had boudin balls, but it was always when a family member was either coming up from South Louisiana or somebody had just went down there for a little trip and brought a bunch back.
Gotcha. Because
I will say, like, even the food and everything, when you get to about Baton Rouge up, it changes.
Yeah.
We're a little bit more like Mississippi and Arkansas, because I'm like 30 minutes from Arkansas and Mississippi. But of course, we've all got a little Cajun in our blood. So there were years where we would have crawfish etouffee and jambalaya and gumbo. And I like a little kick in my food.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Well, those are awfully tasty. I'm a big fan of them. And there aren't that many places, I'm guessing, in Nashville where you can get them.
I don't think so. At least I've never been anywhere that you can get them. Yeah. I make everybody try them, and then I tell them what it is.
Well, do they have to pass a test with you before they get on the menu?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I will tell you, if you don't like boudin balls, I don't know if we can be friends. I don't know if we can be friends.
We're not going to have that problem.
No, but we did have a big tasting before the bar opened, and I tried pretty much everything on that menu, and I was just excited because I had not had a little bit of that like Louisiana taste since living here in those 15 years. So, and we're doing well. I mean, we made the top 20 restaurants in Nashville.
That's great. Congrats.
So, not too shabby.
And there's some crawfish cakes on there.
Mm-hmm. It's like crab cakes, but crawfish.
Another little nod to your roots.
There are lots of like crawfish places in Northeast Louisiana, and I will make a special trip to Louisiana. My family thinks I'm coming home to see them, but it's to get crawfish.
Yeah.
I love them that much.
Yeah. You get one, you can't find them around here. Maybe there's a couple places. I don't know.
No, my buddy Moon, he'll go down to Mississippi and pick some up and bring them back up here. And for mine and Duck's birthdays, we try to do crawfish bowls.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about music for a minute?
Let's do it.
Okay. You actually have a new version of a deluxe edition of Whirlwind that's coming out.
Yeah.
There's a song on there that's called Bell Bottoms Up.
Yeah.
Is that kind of an anthem for you? I mean, is that sounds like it's something that, you've had on your mind even long before this bar was,
Well, you're right, because for years I would laugh and say, if I ever have a bar down on Broadway, just like everybody else and their mama, I want it to be called Bell Bottoms Up. As a little girl, I was obsessed with bell bottoms, and I just remember how they made me feel. And then I was like, okay, well, if I want to have a bar down there called Bell Bottoms Up, the bar needs a theme song. And this is before that we even knew we were going to have a bar down there. And so I was out somewhere in California, and we had a couple days off. This was the year that we were, I think, playing 180 something shows. Yeah. And I wrote this song with my band, and it's a fun one. I mean, it feels like a line dance. And
yeah.
It's I feel like even when you walk into the bar, there's a feeling in the air. At least I hope everybody else feels it. And that's kind of how I feel when I was writing the song. And when we recorded it too, we got to record it at Abbey Road Studios in London.
That's amazing.
And so,
wow, that
was a real treat. That was a little over a year ago now. So we've been sitting on it for quite some time, but I wanted it to, have its moment.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. It's a great name, and I need to get to the bar. I haven't been there yet, so I need to make it happen.
You got to get the skillet cookie too.
Okay. All right. I want to ask you about another one, which is Good Horses. I love this song.
Yeah.
And you recorded it with Miranda Lambert. Talk to me about that, what that song means to you. As someone who is on the road all the time.
Yeah.
And it's about home. It's about, good horses come home. Tell me what was, on your mind when you wrote that.
This was also the year that I was just crazy busy. I think that year I slept in my bed 15 nights. And one of those times that I was here in Nashville, I remember Miranda calling me and being like, you need a nap. You need to go somewhere that ain't nobody going to mess with you or call you. She said, I want you to come out to my farm where there's hardly any cell phone service. And I want you to take a nap, and we're going to feed you, because her husband is a great cook. Great cook. He's Italian, so he can whip it up too. And I remember, I think I slept for like 13 hours, and they had to go knock on the door. They're like, is she alive? And we ended up inviting our buddy Luke Dick over, and I had this song idea for quite some time, and I think I had gotten the idea from watching an episode of Yellowstone. And because I'm a big fan of the show, and just I was a fan of the show before I was ever even involved with it.
Yeah.
And I remember writing this hook down in my phone, and I brought it up to them, and they were like one of the first people to really just kind of bite it and be like, okay, we could really do something with it. And I just remember Luke starting to kind of play this kind of eerie, almost like Western feel lick. And I was like, okay, these are the people to write this song with. I can pretty much tell immediately. And Miranda and I both, we have so much in common, but especially our love for the Western way of life, and also our love for coming home and planting our feet and like filling our cups back up so we can go back out and pour them out, and we understand the importance of that too.
Yeah.
It's when you're pouring from a half-filled cup over and over again, eventually like you're going to be like, you're just not going to be able to do it anymore.
It's going to catch up to you.
And so she had been telling me that for a while. And I had some moments where I was real close to overdoing it. But I think that probably comes from, for years, not having opportunities. And then all of a sudden I did. And I wanted to make sure that I took those opportunities and chances and went with it. But she's always been that voice, over here for me, just being like, you can't do it all. You can't do it all. You gotta come home, and you gotta saddle your horse, and you gotta make sure that you're scooping the poop and the foam on the farm and doing all the things that make everything else worth it.
Yeah.
And so we wrote the song, and it just it fell out. And then we were getting ready to do the record. It only made sense to have her sing on it with me.
Well, she's ahead of you. She's, been doing this a little bit longer, and she's been through some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, she's got some perspective that's gotta mean a lot to you.
It does. And she's so willing to just pour out that wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's what I found with a lot of the ladies in country music. They don't keep their cards close to their chest. I don't know how I got so lucky, but they willingly are just like, let me give you some advice. And I try to listen, because they have been around the block.
Yeah.
And I want to be around for a long time. And so it's very important for me to call people like Miranda and Reba and Winona and the ladies that I look up to, the ones that have like blazed those trails over and over again. And it's cool to, start doing that for the ones coming up now too.
Yeah.
I hadn't been around that long, but I've done a lot in a short amount of time. So that's what you're supposed to do. At least that's what they told me what you're supposed to do.
Well, I think they've given you some good advice, clearly. Whatever they're saying is working. But I wanted to ask you about the next generation.
Yeah.
And particularly the girls that you're talking to. I mean, there is a whole generation of young women and girls and guys too, but people who probably wouldn't have discovered country music if it weren't for you. And you see them, I mean, they're at your shows and they're wearing cowboy hats and, they're wearing bell bottoms and they love this music. And it's opened a door to those people. What's the message that you kind of want them to hear when you're writing songs? I mean, are you thinking about that crowd? Are you thinking about that kind of next generation that hasn't maybe discovered this music before?
For sure. Of course, like I write music for myself.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is coming from like my perspective. But it is important for me to be talking to that kid in the back row because that little kid in the back row was me at one point. It's a lot of pressure, at times to be like, these kids are watching, they are listening. And what I'm realizing is it's just as important about what you say and sing, because they're hanging on every word. Yeah. So even in between songs at my shows, I'm like, okay, what message do I want this person to hear tonight? And it's very flattering that that there's a lot of little kids that are looking up to me. I just want to get it right.
Yeah.
I try not to do anything or say anything that I wouldn't be proud of 30 years from now.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get it right all the time.
Yeah.
But of course, when I'm writing music, I want them to know that I've been at this a long time. I'm 33 years old. I wrote my first song at 9 years old. I started playing guitar at 11. I moved to Nashville when I was 19. I was here for 7 years before I got a publishing deal. 8 years, finally got a record deal. And then that's when the hard work really started.
Yeah.
So a lot of my songs are about resilience and rolling your sleeves up and things like that. And it's not like I'm purposefully trying to put that message in the song. It just comes out because I think that is the life that I've lived. I don't know any other way.
Yeah. You got some songs about having fun too.
I do, because I've had a lot of fun too. I ain't gonna lie to you about that. Bell bottoms up, baby.
So one more question about just people that are not people, but I guess in this case, a creature who helps keep you grounded. And I wanted to ask you about Hippie May. So you've got a French bulldog who's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Isn't she?
Talk to me about your connection with her. And I mean, do y'all travel together? Do you take her on the road? Talk to me about how.
Hippie is my sidekick.
Yeah.
She is my sidekick. And before her, I had a Boston Terrier bulldog that lived in my camper trailer with me the first 3 years I was here in Nashville. And when I tell you Hippie reminds me so much of Puddin', like I swear to you, they've got to be kin somehow, some way. It feels like I'm like looking into Puddin's eyes when I'm staring at Hippie. But yeah, at the end of the day, when I can just snuggle her little snorting self, nothing else matters, You got to have those things in life.
And she's what, 5?
She's 5. I got her during the pandemic. I think everybody got a dog during the pandemic.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yes.
What do you have?
I've got a Boykin Spaniel.
Okay.
Who is crazy as a bed bug. But
really?
But we love him more than anything. Yeah.
I love crazy as a bed bug. Hippie too. But yes, she goes on the road. She's kind of like the little mascot out on the road. She even has a lanyard so she makes sure she can get backstage and stuff, But she's awesome.
Well, you got a lot coming up. You had a big year last year hosting the CMAs. With Luke Bryan, Peyton Manning, which had to be a lot of fun. What did it mean to you to be able to celebrate all these other artists that you're surrounded by all the time, and particularly the young ones who are kind of trying to make it?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's everything. I used to sit in front of the TV probably too close to the TV, staring and watching like everybody down on the carpet and seeing the friendships that these artists had and, high-fiving each other and hugging when they won. And I've always dreamed about being invited. And now we're getting to be nominated. And then now was able to co-host it. It's just, it's crazy. And it's important for me to celebrate country music. I don't know where I'd be without it.
Yeah.
I don't know where a lot of us would be without it. And it's changed my life. It continues to change my life every single day. So it's important for me to tip my hat to all of that. And I'm also I'm proud of country music right now. I think there's a little bit of everything, and the way that it's growing is pretty unreal. And I don't see it slowing down anytime. I mean, we went to Europe and UK this year, and even the crowds over there, I mean, it's a lot. We played to 18,000 people in London. It's like,
that's amazing.
Country music is having a moment, and I'm proud to be a part of that moment. And I'm proud to celebrate my buddies who are doing the dang thing.
From Baskin, Louisiana to London.
That's a long way.
That's a long trip.
That's a long way.
Well, Lainey Wilson, thanks so much for being back on Biscuits and Jam.
I love it. Thank you.